I'm going to show you how I made $50,000 on a $250,000 job. That is 20%. A lot of you might be like, well, T, that's pretty good. I know. And I'm going to show you the breakdown of everything. The spreadsheet's coming up right now. Here it is. We'll go over this in detail in a little bit after you watch the video. But I wanted to show you that sometimes we hit it big. But first, I must take you back to the origin of the story. How I met the customer. How did I close this deal? How is it a lead? Who called who? What happened? I was doing a job very similar to this. It was probably another maybe $300,000 job. And before you're like, well, T, I'm not in the market where I'm doing $300,000 jobs. Okay, well, maybe for you, it'd be a $30,000 job. Okay, this house that was built is brand new. It's probably $6 million. So for a $6 million house, it's not uncommon for someone to spend $250,000. That's just not a big deal. If you live in a house where it's $200,000, someone could easily drop 30 bands on landscaping and not even blink an eye. Would you agree? Okay, great. I'm glad we're on the same page. Now that we got all the haters out of the way, let's jump into how I closed this deal. I was doing a job and this lady walked up. She was maybe 5'4", a little tiny lady. And she was like, you do landscaping? And I said, yes, we do. And she's like, I want something just like this. Can you come to my house and give me a bid? I said, absolutely, would love to. First question I asked, do you have a design? And she said, I'm in the process of making that right now. I said, cool. Can we exchange numbers? I'll give you my card. And when the design is ready, I'll swing by your house. I'll take a look at it. I'll look at the design. I'll send you a bid. I'll do all that good stuff. And she said, okay. So I gave her the number and I didn't hear from her for a year. Now, this happens a lot, to be honest with you. She was going for a walk and she saw us do work and she was like, these guys kick ass. And one of the reasons is because of the nice equipment. Like, look at all this. Obviously, this was not her house, but if it looks like you're doing something right, you probably are. If there was two guys on here with Bobcat and excavator from the 1980s, do you think she would have stopped by? Probably not. But because she saw the equipment, excavator, caterpillar, ditch witch, dump trucks, employees, all matching shirts besides one guy because I didn't have his size. But that's one of the reasons why people come and walk up to our job site and say, hey, I'm looking for some deals. And I say the same thing. I'm glad you're looking for some deals, Mrs. Customer, because I can get you some deals. Now, I know a lot of the times this happens and I never hear from the customer. This happens so many times to me. People walk up to my job sites and they're like, we want to do some landscaping. And we exchange information. I'm very helpful. I maybe give them a catalog. Always keep a stack of catalogs in your car, truck, wherever. And have your guys at the job sites have catalogs with your business cards. And every time a customer comes out, boom, they get a business card, which honestly, business cards are lame, to be honest with you, because now I just have the customer take a picture of my trailer. And on my trailer, there is a QR code. All they have to do is scan the QR code. Wham, they get access to everything. Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, Google, phone number, everything. So that is a better offer for me, but some people are old school. They want to have the business cards. So you do that. Now you give them a card and they leave. In this particular case, she actually was serious. Most people were not serious. I've given out business cards, communication a lot, and I've never heard from the customer. It's just part of business. Don't get butthurt. It is what it is. Move on. This is why you need to keep your pipeline really, really full and girthy versus keeping it narrow and get upset when a customer doesn't call you back. Like, if people don't want to hire me, I'm okay with that. I'm actually kind of grateful because I'm like, damn, bro, that frees up the schedule a little bit. I can focus on this job and this job and this job. I want to do business with people that want to do business with me. And I don't want to have to force anyone. Of course, yes, there's a sales aspect to it. Duh, I understand that. But when it comes to chasing down customers, I know some people in Goking, they always ask the question. They're like, how can I close this deal? How can I close this deal? I'm like, bro, if you're dependent on one deal, your marketing is off. Your business model is off. Like, you need to be focused on a bunch of deals versus just one customer, and your business makes or breaks it based on that one customer. That is a failing formula. So the customer said, let's roll, T. And I met with her. And oh my gosh, look at this. The boys are taking the pavers up. You know why? I'll tell you a little bit. But I came to the job site and they were doing the pattern incorrectly. It wasn't squared. And I was like, what do y'all think you're doing? And he's like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, it doesn't even look good. It's not squared. So they took it out and redid it. Luckily, I came there within the first 10, 15 minutes of them laying the pavers. So it wasn't that big of a mistake. But imagine if they laid all the pavers and had to take it out. That's happened before. Welcome to business. That has happened to me so many times. I can't even count. Maybe 3. I could probably count. Three times. These things happen. You're in business. You're a grown-up. You're a grown man. You're going to have to walk on job sites. And sometimes when things aren't right, you got to call them out and say, yo, this is a bad offer. And the boys are going to have to fix it. But it is what it is. You know, that's why you are in a management position. And that's why you go out there and your quality control. A lot of you own a business and you're laying pavers. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Oh, your guys don't respect you if you don't lay pavers with them. Why would my guys care? Why would they care? I'd leave them. Look at this. They're working. They're doing their own deal. They're hanging out. They're listening to their music. They're eating their Cheetos. They're eating their nachos. And they're drinking Coca-Cola. They're having a good time. Why would they want me there? I would think that I would be getting in their way. And I know what you're going to say. T, that's because you don't know how to do pavers. Maybe. But here's the deal. You know how to do pavers, but you don't know how to run a business. I don't know how to do pavers, but I know how to run a business. Which one do you want to be? Exactly. Thank you very much. That was my Johnny Cash impression. No, that was Elvis. Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe that was Johnny Cash. I'm not really sure. But anyway, the customer reached out to me and she said, here's the plan. Here's the blueprints. Can you bid it? So Bree and I, we sat down and we bid this project. This was in 2021. I completed this job. Well, I don't know completed, but I started this job in February 22. So we bid on this job in middle of 21 and going back and forth with the customer. I pretty much was convinced that she was going to hire me. And I don't even know if they got other bids, to be honest with you. They might have. But I felt like because we had such a long relationship and so much communication and so much rapport, that's the word I'm looking for, rapport. And I felt like she was going to hire me no matter what. But who knows? I should actually ask her if she got other bids. So we sent the bid and she came back with a couple of questions, a couple of requests. She wanted to add a kitchen, a barbecue deal. And I said, no problem. You see those pipes in the left side corner? That was for drainage, water, electric, and lights. So in the future, we would run everything she needed for her barbecue and not have to tear up her pavers. So I charged her a couple grand to do all that. Not a big deal. She didn't really want to make a commitment on what that would look like now because they weren't really moved in the house. They didn't get acquainted, yada, yada, yada. So I said, no big deal. Let's just run all the pipes for you. And then when you're ready, you be ready. If you look up top, that concrete that was poured for the foundation of the house, it was too low. She wanted to have pavers that were pretty much the same level as the inside of her house. Because it's kind of like outdoor, indoor vibe. So we did it. We figured everything out. Closed the deal. Luckily, I had a really good team. Bree helped a lot. See, the thing about you guys, and I'm saying you guys as a general statement, the viewers of this YouTube, and I say this to Goking all the time, you need to hire people in your life that will help you. Because without a good person in the office, now I have 2 good people in the office, but before when this video was being made, I only had 1 person in the office. It was just Bree. Without her, life is really difficult. And without Jose, life is really difficult. Without each of the crew leaders, life is really difficult. Without all of the masons, very difficult. Without Randy is the driver for this whole ship. And he makes life fantastic for everyone because he's so on top of everything. And he gets all the materials there. He drives, gets everything ready, organized. Super, super important to have a really good driver. And then when it comes to the YouTube side, Coaster, he's sitting right next to me. It'd be very difficult for me to run everything I do, have the business, and still make YouTube videos. Even though in the beginning, way beginning, that's exactly what I was doing anyway. But I was only doing one video a week. We weren't really doing any shorts. Shorts didn't really exist back then. No TikToks. And with him, it's possible to do many things because he just set this whole thing up. And he was like, all right, T, we have to do a voiceover. And he's been chasing me down for like 3 days on this voiceover. But we finally sat down and we said, today, it's game time. See, most of you try to do this whole deal by yourself. You try to wear all these hats. I used to do this, by the way. I'm only talking smack to you because I was that guy. I was the guy answering phone calls. I was the guy sending emails. I was the guy returning phone calls. I was the guy doing bids, going to see customers, managing the job site, ordering materials, driving to Home Depot, driving to the dump. I was that guy. And I know you're watching this and you're listening to this and you're like, well, that's everything I do. And I'm so proud of myself. Okay, congratulations. Great job. I understand that you're so proud of yourself and you did so much for you because you came from nothing. Okay, so did I. But when is it time to graduate? There has to be a graduation point. And for me, that graduation point was in 2021. So look, if you're sitting there and you're like, well, T, I just started my business and I'm doing pretty well for myself. Okay, fine. If you're year 1, year 2, year 3, and you haven't really graduated, you're still wearing all the hats, I understand. I feel like you should definitely still wear all the hats, especially in the first 3 years, because you need to know all the ins and outs of your business. And you need to make sure that if someone's going to pay the price on losing money, it's going to be you, not your employees, because you don't want to have a massive team in the beginning and you lose your ass on the job. You lose $50,000, $100,000, because it's going to happen. Strap up your seatbelt and prepare for it. It's going to happen. I've lost 50 bands on a job. Probably, I'm not going to lie to you, probably $150,000 of work that I completed was not paid for to me. And it's just the price of business. It is what it is.
That's what I was thinking.
But let's say you are sitting there and you're watching this video. You're probably taking a poop. And you're like, well, T, I've been doing business for 9 years and I've never really graduated. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I was doing business for 5 years, maybe 6 years, and I didn't graduate. And the reason being is because I didn't have anyone to look at. I'm a very simple person. I have to see something and then I'm like, oh, look at this. He's doing it this way. I want to do it like that. I implement it into my life. It's called copy paste. I've actually coined this phrase in Goking for everyone to use. Copy paste. You see someone doing something successful, you copy it and you paste it into your life. It's very easy. Control C, Control V. This is the easiest shortcut, easiest hack to life. I know there's a lot of people out there, there's no shortcuts in life. Yes, there is. 100%. You go visit someone, you see what they're doing, and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I not doing that? And then you just go do it. That is a shortcut. Success is not by accident, boys. I know there's some girls watching, but they know this. The girls know this. The girls are smarter than boys. The girls know that success is not by accident. Every single thing that you get in life, you deserve. If you're poor, guess what? That's your fault. If you're successful, congratulations. Again, your fault. If you are a loser and nobody talks to you, if you're a guy and you never get laid, congratulations. That's your fault. Because you never improved your skills and you never really went after it and figured out what the opposite sex is into. Now, this is a whole nother conversation. We're talking about landscaping. Let's get back to landscaping. Now, back to landscaping. And just a little clarification, okay? There are 3 pillars to life. There's health, wealth, and relationships. Health, wealth, and happiness. Health, wealth, and love, whatever you want to call it. If one of those pillars is suffering, you will feel unhappy, unmotivated. You'll have no drive in life. So you need to make sure your health is on point. You need to make sure your money game is on point. And you need to make sure that your love is on point. That you have good relationships with the opposite sex, with the same sex, with your family, with your loved ones, everyone. Everything has to prosper in order for you to feel quote unquote happy. And the same in business, dude. Like, you need to be closing deals. You need to be paying people, making all your payments on your credit card, all your material payments. Because if you have delinquencies and your subs are not paid, then you're going to not sleep well. At least you should. This is a feeling that should take place when you have delinquencies. You shouldn't be owing people hundreds of thousands of dollars and go to sleep like a baby thinking everything is fine. No, if you owe people money, you should be stressed out and like, bro, I need to figure this out. Every single emotion in the human body has a reason for it. Fear, anger, stress, all those, happiness, love, lust, every single emotion has a reason for it to be there. It's to push you to get it figured out, push you to greatness, like that fight or flight. Okay, back to business. I know you're very surprised that I'm a philosopher and I understand how to have Zen in life, but we're going to get back to business. How I closed this customer on $250,000. Hoorah! Okay, you have to bring customers into your atmosphere, into your life, into your ecosystem, and you have to just introduce them to your whole business, because I really feel like customers are easily closed and their mind is made up much easier when they understand that there are other people that are in charge of things than me. I think that's the right way I said it. There are other people, like there's people in the office, there's people in the field, there's people project managing, driving. There's a whole company versus just one guy and just field workers. And that's why when you come in higher on the proposal side and they're like, well, you know, you're $15,000 higher than the other guy. And I'm like, I understand that. And with all fairness, he should be lower than me because he doesn't have an office. He doesn't have an office staff. He doesn't have drivers. He doesn't have a bigger payroll. And with me, what you're going to get is there's going to be always someone answering the phone when you call. And that really closes the customer a lot better because they understand there's more people that help you with the organization. And of course, more people, more money. Like, you're not going to pay a project manager $10 an hour. You're not going to pay someone answering phones and helping you with the office and bids $11 an hour. Like, these people, great people, require money. And that's okay. That's a good thing. You want people that make a lot of money in your company. You do not want to be the guy that's making all the money. I feel like when people get like this, it's too greedy and it's just not a bad... It's really a shitty place to work at if you're the employee because there's no room for growth. There's no room for more opportunities because only the owner's making all the opportunities, which is lame. And once you give that option to people in your business, in your company, you're going to see that eventually in the long run, you'll end up making more money. This dude messaged me. This is perfect. This dude messaged me on Instagram yesterday. I made a TikTok about it. And he said, T, should I pay my guys less money and make more profit? Or should I pay my guys more money and make less profit? And I understood that question very, very well because I've been in that situation. Let's say you need to hire a project manager. Obviously, that cost of the project or that cost of the project manager is going to come off of your revenue. And if you're paying someone $60, $70, $80, $100,000 a year to be a project manager, yes, of course, they're going to carry their weight and they're going to make money. Duh. But it's still going to cost you money. But here's the beautiful thing. It'll free up a lot of your time because that person can carry the weight. So there's a trade-off. Do you want to make all the money and do all the work and run your ass into the ground and not really build a company and just have a one-man show? Or do you want to make a little bit of the profit and still live a good life? To me, I would rather live a really good life knowing I have good people around me than live a very stressful life and make, 20% more money. So pretty much, I just wanted to let you know, don't be greedy. If you're not greedy, you're going to be very successful. And if you are greedy, well, you're going to get what you always get. Nothing. You're going to end up getting screwed. People are always going to be stealing from you. There's this dude I know, and he's always having problems. He gets into a car accident, and then someone else lets him borrow a car, and then he got into another car accident. Bad things happen to people that are negative. Now you're like, T, you've never been in a car accident? Bro, when I was like 19, okay, I'm a really good driver. I have very good reflexes. I understand what people are going to do. And I can really look in the future, look in advance, and make sure that stupid drivers don't do stupid things to me. So I pay attention. I know a lot of you don't pay attention, and that's why you're brokies. But hey, that's okay. That's why there's going to be different people. There's going to be people on this side, and there's going to be people on this side. People that take action and actually want to create something with their life, or people that just sit behind their computer and eat Cheetos and watch TV shows and cheer on their sports team. I don't have a favorite sports team. I don't really care about sports. My sports team is my life. I am my number one fan. I'm really a philosopher in this video today. Anyway, video's closing out. If you want more philosophy tips on how to live your life, join Goat Gang. I'll show you everything about business, everything I know, how to run it, how to manage it, how to operate it, how to grow it. Most importantly, how to make some money. GoatGang.net. The finished product, I'm going to show you exactly what $240,000 in landscaping looks like. Maybe it's 240, maybe it's 250. I actually don't remember. This job we finished in the summertime of last year, and now we're coming back 7 months later. So the really beautiful thing about landscaping that a lot of people don't really understand is when the designer makes the call out for the plants, they're really anticipating 2 years down the road of how the place will look, not when you plant. Every time we finish a landscaping job, it doesn't really do it justice for me to go there and show you the job because the plants haven't bloomed. They're not full. But now we're coming back almost a year later, and these plants have grown. They have grown a lot. So come over here. We'll show you around. First, we start on this side. So the homeowner, obviously, they have a corner lot, and they wanted privacy. So we cannot put a fence all along here because there's a limit to how far you can go from the curb because this is a corner to the actual property line. But with plants, you can do whatever. I think it was 10 feet away from the curb. So what we did, we threw them in. When we put them in, they were about this tall. They have grown almost double. And these are called podocarpus, I think. I think these are called podocarpus. If they're not called podocarpus, then I'm going to get my ass lit up on YouTube, which is going to be even more funny. This tree, I wanted to remove because, as you see, it's in the middle of the doorway, and it kind of breaks it up. But the city didn't let us do that, so we left it in there. This right here is some tile all the way from Italy with tile in the face of it all the way from Mexico. This was very expensive to do. I think just a tile right here was maybe $4,000. Another privacy. This grew a lot. Wow. We put all the big ones here because she really wanted to cover her house. By the way, these things, if not trimmed, which I told her not to touch for maybe 2 years, they will get huge, like really big. Like this can be a green wall taller than the house. They really like the palm tree vibe. So we installed 4 queen palms. Maybe they're date palms. I also don't remember the name of these plants. I'm not a really big plant guy, if you haven't noticed. I know 100% without a doubt, this is called a kangaroo paw. 100%. We put in this right here. This is a crushed rock pathway. I advised the homeowner to go against that decision, but they still wanted to do it. And they came back 6-7 months later, and they told me that they hate this. This is a black concrete driveway stamped. This was $23,000, I believe. So those are pavers we put in. These are pavers we put in. They're 2x2 pavers. All of these plants right there, that's going to be a future barbecue whenever that time comes. And yeah, that's about it for the backyard. If you notice that the fence is actually a 6-foot fence with a 6-foot lattice, I just noticed that too. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. That is a very illegal fence. If you were to ask me, T, what would you have done differently on this job? Number one, I would have never put in
that golden rock. Number 2, I would have done stamped concrete everywhere, the backyard and the front yard. It would have just been a much better product, and I think it just looked a lot better. Number 3, I like the plants. I really do. I just would have probably gone against doing this mulch. To me, this mulch doesn't really vibe with the whole look. It just kind of looks unfinished. I like the customer a lot. Both of them, the husband and the wife, were super awesome. And yeah, well, that's about it for this one. If you like jobs like this, subscribe and join Goat Gang for more information on how to do jobs like this. And the more you join, the better your life will be. All right, see you later. Goodbye.